Hey guys. Ooh, that's not too loud there. Anyway, guys, welcome aboard. We're gonna be what are we doing here today? We're working on the layout. No, wait a minute. We're building model ships. Um, nope, that's not it. We're flying Flight Simulator. That's what we're doing today. And hello, Cornell Custom Trains. Yeah, no big deal over here with the storm. Just a lot of rain. That was about it. Rain for a day. So other than that, no problems here. Anyway, let's. Here you go. Now you can see what I actually look like. Ooh. Let's jump in the plane here. We'll get fired up. Kind of rearrange a few things here. And we are taking the Pmdg 737-200 today from San Francisco over to LAX. I'm going to go ahead and get ourselves all loaded up and fired up over here. I think we got ground power on finally. Go ahead and turn some lights on here. Position lights are already on. Go ahead and get everything closed up on the plane. Got a put our fuel in here. I'm going to take a look at check the right screen here. See how we're doing on fuel. What are we taking today? We are taking 13.3 total fuel. So let's go ahead and load that in here. There we go. As for payload, actually, go back here. Get our ground services released. Ground power, no, we don't want to do that yet. Let's see. Payload. Right here. Get our doors closed. I think we got to release our ground services first. Truck, we can release that since we already did our already got our fuel in there. We'll punch in our 115. We'll start boarding here. Or we already have 115, so we're good there. And I think we got to get rid of our. There it is. Get rid of our ground services. Passengers are already loaded, so doors are closed. And we can get rid of our jetway here. Hopefully it starts moving out of the way. There it goes. Bring up my chat so I can actually see if anybody's chatting away. We are flying southwest today. Yeah, let's see here. First thing I always like to do is get my lights turned up. Let me go ahead and do that. Been a little while since I flew the 737. So bear with me here just a little bit. Let's get set up. Jump into the FMC and do our position initialization. Ksfo is where we're starting out. if I punch in the right spot there. And let's see. FMC. It's been a little while since I've done this. There we go. And I think our reserve fuel for today is 2.1. Let's see, CI is 17 for today. I think we're going up to 33,000 feet. I'll enter that. For takeoff, we'll be doing 5 flaps. We gotta put in our final weights here. We gotta put in our route here, actually. I'll get this figured out. Oh, there we go. I've been flying the A320 so much I forgot how to fly the Boeing here. We are going to LAX. Press our flight plan. Let's go ahead and get our seat belts on. Go ahead and start firing up our APU also. Double check the stream here, make sure it looks good. Yep. Adjust my other screen here so I can have the chat up on it. Alright, activate this flight plan, execute, and let's see, takeoff we've already got. We got to put in our arrival and departure. It looks like, let's see if I have that. Looks like we're departing 1 left. And departure is going to be Sticks 5, 2C transition. And our arrival into LAX, I believe we're doing the ILS into 24 right. And let's see, what are we doing for the arrival there? Herman 2 and Virgil transition. We'll enter that. Alright, let's take a look at our legs here. Go to our flight plan and let's zoom in here a little bit. We'll step through the flight plan and make sure everything looks good. Take off, do a quick turn, head down south along the coastline, and this should be a nice arrival here actually. Fly right over Hollywood. Got a vector right there. I'm going to get rid of that vector. There we go. Make a nice turn into final. That looks good. Get some stuff set up here while we're looking up here. What did I say? 33,000 feet. here and figure out what I forgot already. Okay. Plant fuel, yep, 13.3. We're not going to derate our takeoff, and we've got our takeoff speeds now 135, so we'll set 140 here. Always add a few knots. That looks good. And it would help if we actually align our nav system. That's what I forgot to do. All right, we'll get our GPS, drop it into there, and we should get our map and all our navigation up and running here. Looking good. Yeah, looks like we're getting fired up over here. All right, let's see if our APU is fired up. Yes, it is. Go ahead and switch over to APU power. Get ready to push back here. Let the flight crew know we're almost ready to go. APU bleed on here. There are anti-collision lights on. Okay, I think everything looks pretty good up here. Let's go ahead and try doing this pushback. Actually, I got to take a look around here. Let's see. Looks like we're going to be pushing off, and we're actually departing on the runway right over here. Yeah, John Robert. Yes. That should be fun. And hello, Captain Cuz. How you doing? Trying something a little bit different here as usual. And we're going to be departing off one left, which is the runway right back there. So when we push back, we'll probably just go straight back. Come down here. Yeah, care about these alerts here. And let's see, menu. Action, pushback. We're going to go straight out. Let's connect our tug here. Make sure our parking brake's off. Go ahead and...
Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start tail straight out. Roger that. Ready for push straight back. Brakes off.
Brakes are off. Let's get our FMCs on here. Get our auto throttle ready.
Brakes released. Here we go.
Sometimes the sim's a little slow here on me.
Pushback complete. Parking brake, please.
Right, parking brakes off. Go for it. Come on, dude. Parking brakes off.
Brake set. Roger that. Ready for push straight back. Brakes off. Brakes released.
Look, we got a little competition here for our tugs. There we go. All right, let's get fired up over here. Packs are off. Bleed is on. We'll go ahead and start number 2. Waiting for about 18 on the N2.
Pushback complete. Parker, please.
Now we'll get our parking brake on.
Brake set.
Wait till our number 2 engine there stabilizes a bit.
Alright, steering pin is disconnected. Watch for the slip release from guidance on your left. Have a good flight.
Start number 1. Now hopefully my frame rate's a little bit better than it was in the last couple of test streams I did. Alright, fuel on, and while that's happening, let's go ahead and get our transponder on. We're almost ready to go. And let's see here. Okay, we'll get our packs on. Bleed off. And we can go ahead and go over to engine power. Monitor Gen 2 and APU can come off. We'll go to continuous on the igniters. And taxi lights can come on. Go ahead and lower the flaps for departure. Gotta have my coffee before we take off here. Great, that's looking good, and let's just double check our trim. Come back here, jump back into the FMC. I like to keep my climb on here. Verify our speeds again. Go. Go 135. Let's see here. Route. Kick off. Yep. I'm so used to the Airbus here. Fumbling around a little bit. Let's see. What do I actually want to do? I'm going to check my trim level first. Let's see. What was that? Kick off. Trim was 5.5. So we'll go ahead and set that. Jump up here a little bit. Alright, 5.5 set. And release our parking brakes here. And I think we're ready to taxi, so we're just going to make a quick right down to the runway right there. Let the flight crew know we're getting on our way here. Got my FPS counter down there in the lower right of the screen. And that's pretty normal for a flight sim running on my equipment, is right there around 20 or so on the ground. That's good to hear, Vinny. We'll get ready for a departure here. Auto braking to RTO, flaps are set. Flight directors are all set, autopilot's configured, and trim tab is set. Transponder is set. Put my terrain on and airports on my secondary display there. Vinny says he passed his stress test, which is good, because I just had one of those the other, well, a couple weeks ago myself. Now, Vinny, did you have to do the running, or did you do the non-running stress test? I'm going to take the full length of the runway here, so we'll go all the way down to the end. Just walking, yeah. I did the one where they do it. They give you an injection, which you basically just sit there instead of running, which was real nice because I can't run because I have an injury on my foot from when I was in the service, so I can't really run on the treadmill or even do the walking one. So I've had the one where they inject you with something and it just basically, you kind of lay there and all of a sudden you don't feel anything, but then all of a sudden you're like, hey, my heart is beating really fast. All right, get lined up on the runway over here, get ready for takeoff. Looks like it's a nice clear day here in Northern California. Alright, we'll just double check everything here, make sure I got all my lights on, get strobes on, there we go, and landing lights on. Double check my packs here, everything looks good there. Alright, we'll power up to about 40-60%, and we'll hit our magic toga button. If I can remember where it is. I can't remember where it is on here, so I'm just going to manually take off.
Airspeed alive.
Actually,
8 knots.
right here. There we go.
V1. Rotate. E2.
And let's get off the ground.
Other.
Nice departure out of Sfo. cockpit here and start flying this thing. Go to flaps 1. Departure is nice too, goes right over San Francisco. We'll go flaps up and autopilot on. We're flying the Pmdg 737-700. Looks like we're going to cut across in front of San Francisco. You can see it down there. Golden Gate Bridge right over here. Let's get cleaned up over here. Auto brakes off. Landing gear off. Double check flaps are up. And go ahead and just turn the sound down there just a little bit so it's not too noisy. Sorry about that. Whenever you go up to the whenever you go out to the outside view, it tends to be pretty noisy there. Down at Ksfo, where we just took off. We took off from runway 1 left. That's this one right here. No, I'm flying the plane. It's not pre-programmed. Now the FMC, which is the flight computer in here, I programmed the route in here. So it's actually flying the route right now on autopilot. But the departure and everything, I just fly by hand. Alright, we're at 10,000 feet, so landing lights can come off. And we can turn off our igniters, let the flight crew know we're at 10,000. You can fly anywhere in the world. I normally I will fly all over the U.S., but I tend to fly all around the West Coast. Out of San Diego, of course, and Santa Ana. I think he meant to say, are you a pilot? Yeah, I am a pilot in the real world, private pilot. But I haven't flown in the real world planes in quite a few years. after my heart attack, I just sort of let it slide. I never renewed my medical, and then I got into doing all sorts of other stuff like playing with trains. A lot cheaper than flying airplanes in the real world, that is. A nice view of the South Bay here. And let's see. We'll go to. Yeah, we're still only at 13,000. One thing I just realized, I forgot to set my altimeter. Too busy thinking about the actual streaming. I ended up cranking down my graphics settings since the last flight. Do I do RC? Like RC airplanes? No. RC cars? Yes. I did. I haven't done that in a while. I did do RC helicopters for a little bit. But then that got too expensive because I kept smashing them and having to, you know, pay for new parts and all that stuff. Nice view of San Jose down below. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, thanks, Vinny. There. Yeah, I tried doing a stream. I don't know. I tried a couple other times, and I used to have another channel where all I did was stream flight sim, but I haven't done that in a while. And so when I kind of kicked it off again, I had my graphics settings a little bit too high, and whenever you start streaming, as you probably know, your graphics settings, your FPS drops quite a bit. So like I'm getting about 22, 25 in the lower right hand corner there, if you can see it. Normally by now I'd be getting, if I'm not streaming, I'd be getting like 30, 35. So I'm losing at least 10 frames just on streaming, and that's with my graphics settings kind of toned down a little bit. All right, 18,000 feet. We'll go over to standard on the altimeter. This is Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yep, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Along with a whole bunch of stuff. Like my Navigraph charts that I fly with. This is a subscription service, and it provides all the different charts for every airport in the world. Which, speaking of, we got to select our approach into LAX, and I think we're doing. You see here. Forgot what runway we're doing. 24 right. We're doing the ILS 24 right, and we're going to do final. A quick turn into the runway here. You can see we kind of come down here, fly right over downtown, and then make a quick turn into LAX. You'll get a good view of Hollywood Hills and all that good stuff right there. Goodbye, Bay Area. Go ahead and turn this down a little bit and then jump outside. We're almost up at altitude. Now, I don't do any train sims. I tried it, and I did one of them a couple years back. But I never really got into it. Double checking my cabin pressurization there. Everything else looks good. And let's see. Don't have an ETA yet on the top of the screen, but usually this is a pretty quick flight. Do a barrel roll. That would upset the virtual passengers we just got in the back. I think we just missed Half Moon Bay and Santa Cruz. This is Monterey right over here. Yeah, exactly. I kind of didn't have the patience either for the train sim. It was a lot more fun running trains on the layout than trying to run the train sim. And then also and I don't know how it is now, but you know, back when I was giving it a try, most of them were like European or overseas routes with just a couple of stateside routes. Get a little bit of better look here at Monterey. Is about the only time it's not covered in fog for some reason today. Yeah, you can do whatever you want in the sim there, Ken. Aerobatics, we can fly. I got a whole bunch of different airplanes we can fly. Sit back here, relax, and wait till we get up to our altitude. We got about 1,000 feet to go. And there's our 1,000-foot buzzer. Go ahead and let the folks in the back wander around there and take the seatbelt sign off. And we can actually take a look at our arrival here. Yeah, no problem there. Yes, I am a pilot in real life, private pilot. Right, yeah, just double checking our arrival there, make sure we've got that in there correctly. as you can see, Hurricane, what was her name, Hillary, has moved out of California here. Like I said, we only got a good day of rain. That's about it. Yeah, I don't think LAX has too many ice storms. We take a look at the weather here. So here's LAX. Oops, sorry about that. Here's LAX down here, and they currently are showing unrestricted viz, few clouds at 4,000, few at 7,000. So should be pretty nice arrival here. We take a look at actual satellite. You can see it's pretty nice and clear. Here's the remnants of the hurricane way up here in Canada. Just a few clouds popping up here and there. This is usually a pretty quick flight here. Let's see, did we get it at ETA? Not yet. Not sure why we're not getting an ETA there on my dashboard up there at the top. 32% done with the flight. Yeah, I guess in Canada, they got a lot of wildfires up there, so hopefully a little bit of rain out there will help them out. Yeah, we got about anywhere from like an inch and a half to 2.5, 3 inches in most of the populated areas down here. Excuse me, and a little bit more over in the hills and the deserts and stuff like that. But for the most part, it was just one big rainstorm. Actually going to bump our speed up here a little bit. For our cruise. We should start coming up just a little bit here. Ground speed right at 452 at the moment. Yeah, that earthquake over in Ojai. Supposedly it was felt all the way down my area too, but I didn't feel it. But pretty light here. There's a few reports of people feeling it, but not me. Though I think I was driving in the car when it happened. My watch is telling me I gotta go take a walk. I guess I've been sitting here too long. Show you something. Here's our route of flight. So departing out of SFO here, here's where we are right now. Gonna come right over the San Andreas Fault, pretty much following it, and come right over Malibu, right here, and then make our turn into the airport. Taking a look at the approach plates here. Yeah, I don't know about those early warning, and maybe they might feel it a few, a minute or so beforehand, but by the time it gets through to your cell phone, pretty much too late. See if we can find the San Andreas Fault over here. Kind of flying right over it. I think it runs right through here. Yeah, there it is. It kind of runs right along this ridge line here, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. You kind of make it out over here. That is the San Andreas Fault. Yeah, Vinny, I had a stint put in, so, and then good to go after that. That was, let's see now, just 10 years ago. 10 years ago I had that. I was kind of young for it, so what am I, 55? So like 50, yeah, I was 46 when I had the heart attack. Because I'm, 56 next month. So it looks like our top of descent here is about 60 miles. Yep, 61 nautical miles here. Yeah, that's what they said. But I don't know. I guess eating the wrong things. I don't know. It is young, but I've known other people that had heart attacks in their 40s and stuff like that too, so I guess that's maybe a good thing that it happened, because you're younger and kind of more fit, able to recover from it, because I had no lasting effects or anything like that. Let's see if I can remember to fly this Boeing here. Got so used to flying the Airbus here lately, I forgot. I think I set my altitude beforehand, and Boeing will actually start to descent by itself. So let's take a look at our descent chart here. Usually what I do is I set the final approach fix altitude, which is 2,200 feet. And unless you're talking to ATC and they tell you a specific altitude, but we're not using ATC today. (2,200 feet at Kobe, which is the intersection. Let's quick look down here. Yep, 2,200. Yeah, Benjamin is a good workout companion there. That's what I do mostly, is walk with him. Except when it's too hot over here. I gotta go early in the morning or late in the evening. Enough looking inside the airplane here. Let's see what we see out here. There's the Central Valley. Just about coming up the mountains here. This is Bakersfield, I believe, down here, off in the haze. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is the San Andreas running right through here. There's a few spots where I've flown over it where you can see it perfectly. So Santa Barbara, just off to the side here. Hey Ken, take care. Drive careful there. No, I haven't used the helicopter to fly the layout route, but like I said, I fly into Orange County, John Wayne Airport on the sim quite a bit and in real life, so I'm pretty familiar with it, and it's not that far away anyway. I sometimes go down there in real life just to check stuff out. Yeah, no problem, John. Gotta have some fun in life, huh? We got Santa Maria and what is this? San Luis Obispo. I spoke a little bit too soon on that Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara's coming up. I meant to say San Luis Obispo and Vandenberg Air Force Base right out here. Kind of hard to see anything from this distance, but I think this is the San Andreas right there. Okay. Be coming up on our descent here pretty soon. Yeah, top of descent right here. I think we're already slowing down. Do I want another ship model? I don't know. I'm still got to finish my destroyer. Still working on that guy. I think I just wanted to do the ship to kind of get me through the hot months here, and then I'm going to jump back into the layout probably shortly. Starting to feel a little bit cooler, you know, getting darker earlier, that sort of thing. So I'll have a little bit more time to finish up the layout, or at least get working on it. Alright, now we're looking at Santa Barbara. Off behind the ridge right there. What is the descent rotation speed during landing? Not sure what you mean by that, but the landing speed is probably around 133 or so. That's what you mean? Yeah, 130 right here for 40 degrees of flaps. It's 130. We're actually going to do 132. We don't need to have full flaps. I'm going to go ahead and select that. Put that in there for our arrival. Thank you for reminding me to do that. A little different flying the Airbus. Like I said, I've been flying the Airbus lately. So Airbus and Boeing is kind of like Chevy and Ford, you know. Once you start flying one, you jump into the other one, and it's just a little bit different. Especially the flight management systems are a little bit different. Taking a look at our route here on the other side. Yeah, we'll kind of go over Camarillo, which is where they had a little bit of flooding for the hurricane. And we'll be pretty close to be able to see Pmdg. Coming up dead ahead here, it looks like. We off in a distance over here. Not mistaken. We started our descent. We're at 27,000 feet. I'll go ahead and get the seatbelt signs back on. Wait for 18,000 feet. Actually, I got to check the weather here at LAX. So I'll show you how I do that here. And it gives you the current observation. I got the winds 230 at 8. So we'll have a pretty straight headwind. Unrestricted viz, few at 4,000, few at 7,000. Temperature is 24 Celsius. And our altimeter is 2996. So I will remember to put that in here. And the nice thing about the Boeing is you can actually pre-put it in. Kind of see it down here. So even though we're on standard right now, I can preset the arrival altimeter, which you can't do on the Airbus. And let's see, what are we looking at there? Santa Barbara, right here. At the Channel Islands off here in the distance. Now, as a matter of fact, let's see, where's Ojai relative to our... Actually, we're coming up to it. Oh, I think this valley right here, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is Ojai, where we had the earthquake. It's over here. I think this is where the earthquake was. Someplace around here. Yeah, I think this is Ojai right here. So someplace right over here is where the earthquake was the other day during the hurricane. What was that, Sunday? 5.1 or something like that. You can see the desert off in the distance there. I'm almost done with my coffee. Need to get on the ground here. Take it easy, Vinny. Should be arriving here in probably about 15 minutes or so. Yeah, someplace down here we had the earthquake. Because this is Ventura, Oxnard, Camarillo, right over here, and Pmdg, right over here, though I can't see it very well from where we're at. And I can already see LAX down here. Got one sip of coffee left. Well, at least I think we'll get a really good look at Malibu. Pretty much going to fly right over the top of it. Yep, there's Oxnard and Camarillo Airport here, and Naval Air Station Pmdg / Channel Islands Air National Guard Base right down here. That's where I used to they'd be stationed, but that's where I was a member. Right, 18,000 feet. We'll go over to 29906 on the altimeter. And the flight crew know we're coming in. Just getting over the top of Simi Valley here. off to our side, and Simi Valley. As a matter of fact, 97 is a long time. I hate flying into LAX. So, little interesting tidbit right here is the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. Right there on the hillside. Should start kind of popping up, looking a little bit better, but they have the former 707 Air Force One. Sits inside of the building right here, and the whole side is glass. And the plane is kind of pointing out the glass over here, looking out over the little whatever hillside here. It looks pretty cool. If you're ever in Southern California, it's a good day trip. Malibu just ahead. Here's the point for Malibu. LAX is over here to our side. The Woodland Hills and Thousand Oaks down here, where all the Kardashians live. We'll get ready for the arrival here. I'll see if see how I do. We'll go to 2 on the auto braking. We've already set our altimeter, so that's good. I think I got to do everything myself since I'm flying the Boeing. About it. Like I said, I'm used to flying the Airbus here recently. That more about managing systems than actually flying the plane. So over here is Santa Monica. Excuse me, Santa Monica, Beverly Hills, Hollywood Hills over here. We're going to kind of come around here, fly right over downtown, which is off in a haze over here. Then make our turn around and land back at the airport. And there is Malibu. Yeah, I think I'm going to be going to San Pedro here this weekend. I'm going to go check out the Battleship Iowa. Since I'm building a destroyer, I figure I'd go take a first-hand look at some ships. Let's see how we doing on our descent here. So far, so good. So we're going to start slowing down here in a minute. We're going to make a right-hand turn over the top of Malibu here and Santa Monica. Kind of see LAX is right here. This is Monterey. Not Monterey, I'm sorry, Marina Del Rey. Long Beach, way up in the distance over there. See if we need to put a little drag in here. We're on downwind for the airport now. Take a look at our speeds again, 132, and we're doing 30 flaps. And we're going to be slowing down here in a minute. Oh, gotta do a posture check. Yeah, let's see if we can see anything here in Hollywood. We should be able to see the actual sign. Now I've got my graphics again kind of turned down a little bit, but you'll see the buildings start kind of popping into place as we get a little bit closer here. Hopefully we get a good shot of the Hollywood sign. And let's see here. Looking. And easiest way to find it is look for Griffith Observatory. I don't see it yet. We got to get a little bit closer here. Downtown LA should be kind of dead ahead someplace. There's LAX, and like I said, Marina Del Rey there in the foreground. Oh, I'm all out of coffee. Looking for the Hollywood sign. I think it's over here somewhere. Let the scenery kind of load up. One of these days, if we don't see it, I'll have to fly with higher resolution scenery. We're going to start making our turn here, and I haven't seen it yet. But anyway, it's out here somewhere. Here it is. Hold on. There we go. There's Griffith Observatory, so the Hollywood sign. Should be someplace around here. Unfortunately, I don't think it's popping in. We got somebody losing it down here. Anyway, we got to start our approach here. I'm going to turn up the sound so you get to hear the lovely 737 engines revving here. Pretty tight turn over here, so I've got some spoilers in. And I'm going to go to one flap right now. Let's see here. I think I'm going to hit approach. Fall correctly on this Boeing. 101 in the heat index. Yeah, it's pretty toasty over here too. We'll go gear down. Get a little bit more drag out here. Getting slowed down, come on. A little bit of a steeper approach than I normally take here, but as soon as we slow down, I can start getting some flaps out. Good flaps 5 here. Landing lights on. Spoilers down. And we'll go to our 30 degrees of flap here. See how our frame rates do here. I think we've got the localizer captured. And keep our flaps going down. In a little bit fast there, and I'm not used to the bowing here. Alright, I think we're good here. I'm going to go ahead and take control of the airplane here. We'll go autopilots off.
500.
Oh, my airplane.
400.
Auto throttle off.
300.
A little bit low.
200.
Just back on glide path here.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Thrust reversers on. Guys, well, welcome to LAX. Landing lights off. And we'll get our flaps back up. Yeah, it was pretty good for a short arrival there. Usually on that approach you kind of fly out a little bit farther, but I just didn't want to mess with it. To go to Allied Hobby. Yeah, have a good one. We're just gonna go park it over here and call it a day. See what's what it's like out here. See if it's too hot. I'm gonna go walk with Benjamin. And we'll get the plane cleaned up over here, and let's see, flight directors can come off. Unfortunately, the taxi here at LAX is a little bit long. But we'll take the first first gate we come to. Don't mind all the crazies flying around out there if you see them. Unfortunately, I'm still getting, even though I turned it off, I still get real world, meaning other flight simmers flying on the network here. So sometimes you'll see a crazy plane doing something nutty out here, if you're not familiar. Not familiar with that, how flight sim works. Like there goes one right there in front of us, and a couple more. Alright, let's go up here, get our APU fired up. Kind of doing a little bit of a fast taxi because after all that coffee, gotta get into the terminal. Yeah, scenery's a little sparse here on my graphics settings, but so we don't have a whole bunch of other airplanes, not too many of them. But I am currently pricing out a new CPU and GPU for the computer here. Just so I get better streaming results. See, it's we're dropping down to like 14 frames per second, which is kind of the absolute minimum for streaming. Getting a little bit stuttery. All right. Get our parking brake on. I hold my brakes long enough. You gotta hold the brakes a little bit before you put the parking brake on. There we go. All right, we'll go over to APU power and seatbelt signs off. And crazy view. Hold on. Gonna shut down our engines here. Listen to that nice wind down. Alright guys, I think that's it for today. Just a quick flight, having some fun before we get back into the garage, working on the layout. That's all I got. Everybody have a good day, and take care there. Yeah, Athern's coming up here at a couple more hours here. Till next time guys, take care. Hopefully I'll have something on the layout to show you before too long.